All we have is 3 suspects wearing scarves over their faces.
I am Tony ETC and welcome everybody to another episode of Vibe Nation Stop the Violence. The prison island, Rottnest Island. This is the land of the indigenous people of Western Australia. A land where the patriots, the men of honor, the indigenous men who have kept their country safe for over 140,000 years. These patriots were arrested. Historian Dr. Neville described this should be compared to Auschwitz in Germany, be given a World Heritage Site just like that of the River Island in South Africa where Nelson Mandela was imprisoned. We are here today to shed light and unwrap the mystery behind the invaders and the patriots.
What we're doing on the island today, on Wajima, Rottnest Island, is launching Reconciliation Week. Really acknowledging that we're about to hand the quad, the old prison on the island, for the first time in 100 years. It won't be used as a tourism accommodation site. It will be handed back to the Island Authority, and they're working with the Wajima Aboriginal Reference Group to advise how it will become a commemorative, educational and respectful site for the future.
To turn this island into a holiday resort and the prison into a tourist accommodation, it will liken it to Auschwitz. No one would camp in the Auschwitz concentration camp left by the Germans, and so that prison, in particular the building, should be very important.
6-sided buildings, and I believe that the only other place in the world that you'll see 6-sided buildings is in West Africa, and they are slave buildings. Slavery was actually prohibited by Britain at the time of the colonisation of West Australia. However, many Aboriginal people were forced into a system of indentured labouring, as it was referred to by legislation. They were forced to work against their will for the pastoralists, including some of my ancestors who resisted, who were taken here to Wajima, Rottnest Island. They were treated as prisoners because they didn't want to be slaves.
More than 4,000 Aboriginal prisoners from all parts of Western Australia, from the very bottom coast right up to the far north at Wyndham and Derby. And some of the men arrested travelled chained about 34 in a row, 600 or 700 kilometres to the port of Carnarvon and Roban, and from there they were shipped down to Fremantle. Many of them, when they were arrested, were naked. In their country they didn't need clothes, and when they arrived at Fremantle they were still naked in a very cold climate. And so that is part of the tragedy, and many of them died chained on the route from their home country to the coast.
The loneliness, how they were homesick, how they didn't really understand why they were here. They took the men away from our families and left the women defenceless. Most of our males particularly have had the prison experience. So we're foreigners already in our own country. We are treated like that. We're not equals at all. I see the police doing drives around my area. They do their little runs around us. They check out all the Aboriginal housing. Colonisers destroyed this, and it's been levels of destruction all the way along.
To me, this is a really important day for us and for the people. I brought all my family today to come over and share as a part of reconciliation. Look, I'm getting to the wrong end of life, but they're still young, so they've got to learn that Rottnest is a part of our culture, and that them as younger people, one day they'll become elders and they'll be able to take up where I leave off.
In the past, I think reconciliation events are often non-Indigenous led. This clearly is an Indigenous-led event, and it is about the healing for this island. So I think this one will go down in history for the island. And telling truthful stories about Rottnest Island I think this moment today is really powerful.
Have you got any message for the government on how they can make life more better for the indigenous people?
And even though we might harp about, and people might think we harp about the stolen generation, that has a lot to do with it because it's intergenerational trauma.
We're just coming to the close of our Reconciliation Week opening ceremony here on Rottnest Island, Wodgumup today. It's an important ceremony that we conduct before they leave the island as a way to cleanse each of the individual guests and ensure that they don't take anything home with them that they're not supposed to. Protocols that we have in place when Aboriginal people visit the island.
And today we have come to an end of another episode of Vibe Nation Stop the Violence. Don't forget to like our pages and follow us on social media. I am Tony ETC.